In this video I'm going to go over a few common frustrations with Microsoft Word 2010. I'm going to start by covering how to stop the double line breaks when pressing return, using page breaks not the return key several times to go to the next page, working with images and a few other things. So as you can see, I've got Microsoft Word 2010 open, and if I write a line, I'm going to first of all start by showing you how to stop the double line breaks. If I write a line of text and press enter, you'll notice that what it does, just set as standard, is to put a double line break in. And sometimes this can be quite frustrating because you don't want one. So, to prevent this from happening, select the text. On the Home tab of the ribbon at the top, go to the paragraph settings here, and there's a little icon in the bottom right of the paragraph settings that will bring up the dialog box for the paragraphs. Click on that. And all you need to do is you need to click on this little box here that says don't add space between paragraphs of the same style. Tick that box, press OK, and you can see now that we've got rid of the forced double line break. And if I continue to write some more text, you can see that the line break has now disappeared. So that's the first thing. The second common frustration, and I'd probably put this at the top of my list for most frustrating things, especially when marking students' work or watching students use Microsoft Word to create, for example, essays or long dissertations, coursework, etc. What most students do is they'll write a bunch of text, and in their essays or their coursework they might have some pictures, and underneath that they might have some more text and some more text and some more text. And what they then decide to do is, oh, I've got a long paragraph here of text that I need to put in. Let's just put it here. And I want it on a new page. So what they'll do, and I'm pretty sure probably most of you do this as well, is they just press enter several times and it creates for them a new page, like that. Now that's really not good practice to do that, and I'm going to show you why. So imagine that I start writing on my second page, some more text is here as part of my coursework, and you carry on to write more text and more text, and then you finish your coursework and it's 25, 30, 40, 100 pages long, and the teacher marks it and says, oh, you missed something out on page 1, so please go back to page 1 and add what you missed out. Now if I do that, you'll notice if I go back to page 1 here and I start writing in the information that I missed out and then press enter, you'll notice that as I press enter, the text that is appearing on the second page is moving down. And as I keep doing that, you can see that the line keeps moving down again and again and again and again. And this can be, again, if I write another line, press enter, everything keeps moving down. Now, that's obviously really bad practice. And again, really bad practice is to keep pressing enter on your keyboard to force a new page. It's very simple to stop this problem. To do it, all you need to do is actually insert something called a page break. Now, as I said, you need to insert something called a page break. So if we follow those simple steps, we use the ribbon at the top, insert page break, so you click where you want the page break. We get a new page, and if I write some more text here, if I then go back to page 1 and start writing or pressing enter, for example, you'll see that it doesn't push this text down as well. So instead of pressing enter several times to create a new page, what you should actually do is insert a page break. There's actually some shortcut keys you can use to do this as well. If you're on a PC running Windows, if you press Control and enter, that actually forces a new page break. Okay, so don't need to press enter several times to create a new page, just press Control and enter, you have a new page. Okay, the third thing that I wanted to go over is working with images. And again, for me, this is one of the most frustrating things that students do when working with images. And I have quite a laugh with my students about this little dog. I'm going to show you what I mean by this little dog. I'm sure some of you have seen it before. The issue I have with images is that if I have a student that's doing some work and he's written lots and lots of text, so this is lots and lots of text, and he's got lots and lots and lots and lots of text. Oops, don't want those line breaks in there. Do want a space. So imagine that he's written lots and lots of text, and he's written lots and lots and lots and lots of text. And then he decides, or she decides, that she wants to put a picture in. What they'll do is they'll probably press enter on their keyboard to force a line break, and then they will insert picture by clicking on the picture icon, inserting that picture, and maybe they resize it. And then for some very strange reason, and I have no idea why they do this, I'm not sure where they've picked up this habit, but they want to move it. For some reason, I have no idea why they want to move it, but they want to move it. Again, whether it's to put it into the middle or whether it's put it right aligned, I'm not sure. I really don't know why they want to move these pictures, but they do. They want to move them. And so what they do is they click on the picture, they go to the Format tab at the top, and they press on this little dog. Now, for me, I wish this dog didn't exist. It has got some excellent uses, this little dog, but sometimes I just wish the dog would die. The reason for that is because what they seem to do is they click on some of these other options, so they might go through, and then they start moving the picture around, and it starts messing up all of the text. And then they say, right, well, what I want to do now is I want to write underneath this picture. So if I start, if I start writing here, it's there. Okay, so if I say enter, brilliant, and then I'll start writing, and I'll write some more information. And then I go to them, oh, can you go back to the first paragraph and add some more? Yeah, okay, so I'll do that. So I'll click up here and I'll add some more information. Brilliant. And can you write for me some text at the side of this picture? Well, no, I can't do that. So maybe if I move this, okay, that works. Oh, no, it's getting very confusing. Not sure what I'm doing. I haven't got a clue. And they overcomplicate things. What I tell my students to do is this: keep it very simple. And if you want to use a picture, insert your picture and then treat it as if it were text. Because, for example, if I want this picture in the middle of the page, okay, then treat it like a piece of text. Click on the picture, go to home, and just like you would center align a piece of text, center align it using the center align tool. So, just like I would treat a piece of text, click on the picture and center align it using the center align tool. If I want it right aligned, I have it right aligned. And then the other difficult thing that they seem to struggle with is that, well, sir, it's in the middle, it's fine, now I want to write underneath the picture, and I can't, so I need to move it, I need to use the dog. Use the dog and I'll be able to write underneath it. Well, again, treat it like a piece of text. If this is my piece of text and I want to write underneath it, what do? Well, I click after the text and I press enter, and now I can write underneath it. Treat the picture exactly the same. Click after the picture, press enter, and now you can write underneath it. And then if you want to left align this text, again, select it, left align it. Again, there are some very useful times when you need to use the little dog, but to keep it very simple, because the problem I have is when they use the little dog, so if I use a picture now, when they use the little dog, I have the same problem like I have with the pressing the enter to create a new page, because as they're moving things down, if they've chosen the little dog, I don't know, I don't even know how they do it, but it messes everything up. So they click on something, and then when they start typing, and it moves the picture down, I don't know exactly what it is that they're doing, but the picture cuts off at the end and then doesn't automatically go on to the next page. Again, this setting has, but somehow they manage to do it like that. Perfect. That's exactly the sort of thing they do. Then they want to insert a new page, so they keep pressing enter, and that's an exact replica of the problems that I keep occurring. So, or the students keep occurring. So, yeah, I mean, there's huge problems I have with pictures with students handling the work. We've got pictures cut off on the edge. Obviously, the margins here would cut the bottom of this picture off. And if these pictures are important, such as their screenshots to evidence work, this is a constant problem that I have with students using this, for me, stupid little dog. Again, there are some good times when you need to use it. For example, if you are creating a teacher resource and you do have a picture, let's imagine that that is a screenshot, and you do want to place text to the right of this picture, then a good idea is to use the dog and to use the square. Because then what a square does is I can click anywhere around this picture, such as here, and I can start entering some text. Okay, and then I can click underneath the picture. Again, if I can't click underneath the picture like I'm trying to here, I need to go to the very last piece of text that I have, and then I need to get underneath the picture. So most of them would go percent, 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 and then they get here. Well, you don't need to do that either. All you need to do is double click where you want your icon to go. And then your icon appears there, and you can start writing some text. So, yeah, pictures can be a problem when you use them in Microsoft Word. The reason for that is because Microsoft Word originally was just a text editor. So all you were supposed to ever do in here is use and write text. Then they introduced, well, wouldn't it be a good idea to be able to put pictures in? And because it's not object-based like Microsoft Publisher, it's difficult to move things around on our screen and still lay the text out around it. Obviously, Microsoft Publisher is much better for doing that because it's object-based. So, the other thing that I was going to go over is other. So in the presentation, I just simply wrote other. Like this, other. And what I wanted to go over there were just a few other basics. Like, for example, a problem or something that I use very often is that when I'm writing, I don't like all of the borders, or should I say the margins, that Microsoft Word uses. So for example, when I start writing some text, you can see that I've got a left margin that's quite big and a top margin that's quite big as well. If I go to View and Rulers, you can actually see how big these are. So it's using quite a lot of space here on the left, quite a lot of space at the top, obviously quite a lot of space on the right and at the bottom as well, just for my margin. Now, I used to always, in Microsoft Office 2003, have to just play around with these, and then have to shrink the margins, make it like this, do that, and I've got a much smaller margin size. But in 2007 and onwards, Microsoft introduced on the page layout tab at the top of the ribbon, you can simply go to margins and choose quick selections of narrow, and that will reduce your margin size, which is really useful as well. So you can utilise more of the A4 piece of paper. There's some other good things on this page layout, such as orientation, if you want a landscape page, yeah, and a few other things. In fact, whilst I'm here, I'll show you another handy little trick. One problem I had once is I had some text here, and I inserted a page break, so Control Enter to go to the next page, and I had some more text here. And the problem I had was that, well, what I wanted I wanted page 1 here to be portrait, and I wanted page 2 here to be landscape. And because I put a page break in, I thought, well, surely I can do that. So I went, right, okay, I'm on page 2, orientation, landscape. But what it does is it makes the whole document landscape, which is not really what I wanted. Well, it's not what I wanted at all. So to actually do this is, again, very simple. All you need to do, if I just set this back to portrait, so my page is now portrait, I'll zoom out so you can see this a little bit better. So you can see my page is portrait. What I need to do is I need to insert another type of break. But what I need to do is not insert a page break. I need to actually insert a different type of break, and that's found on the page layout tab of the ribbon. If I go to this breaks option here and click on the drop down arrow, what I actually need is a next page. Okay, so not a page break, I need a section break of next page. If I do that, it's almost like treating it exactly the same as a page break. It creates a new page for me. However, now I can treat this page completely differently to how I've treated this page. So here, if I go, this is some more text. what I can do here is I can say, right, well, I want to change the orientation of this page to landscape, and because this is a page all on itself in a different section, it can keep it separate from this one. Okay, so again, if I press Ctrl and Enter here, it will keep this landscape. So if I write some more text, like that, and if I change the orientation of this to portrait, because I only inserted a page break, it will change both of them to portrait. Okay, so what I want to do is if I want to go, here I've got portrait, then I want landscape, then I want portrait again. What I would need to do is here on this page, instead of inserting a page break, I need to insert a section break for the next page. Now I've done that, I can change the orientation of this page to portrait, and as you can see, I've now got page 1 portrait, page 2 landscape, page 3 portrait. Again, another useful little tool to use in Microsoft Word. So there we've covered some common frustrations. We've covered the following. We've covered stop the double line breaks when pressing return, using page breaks, not the return key, several times to go to the next page, working with images and the frustrations we have there, and a couple of other things such as setting the margins to narrow and inserting different page or section breaks to control the orientation of different pages. Thank you for watching.